and this lovely audience is all yours. Thanks. Can we hear Michele? Hold on 1 minute, Michele, we're not hearing you.
Okay.
Now we do.
Can you hear me? No?
We have you now.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. So, voy a hablar en español.
I'm going to speak in Spanish. I would love to be there with all of you, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. So we are going to do this from Italy. I'm going to talk about this process that we started in Bologna 10 years ago, the Civic Imagination project. I'm going to share my screen now. This image that can be seen, that we have organized 5 years ago. It is a gym in a neighborhood in the periphery of Bologna. It was July, 35 degrees, super hot, with 140 people talking about the future of the neighborhood. This is the typical image of civic imagination. So communities, people, mothers and fathers and seniors and young people talking about the future of the neighborhood. And talking about the future, it is fundamental to talk about these new paradigms that we have. And in public policies. And it's not only in Bologna or Barcelona, it's all over the world. People do not have faith in governments. So when a politician talks, even less. It is a global phenomenon. People don't participate in the traditional way. They don't register to the trade unions, to the political parties, and there is a very small participation in such institutions, and there is a crisis of representation, right? Mass media out of control, crisis of organization models, traditional organization models, and obviously, it is interesting to talk about these public policies. These public policies that don't design neoliberal models, and they don't want to impose a centralized model. So how do we work in the communication? How do we get to the peripheries of our cities? How do we engage young people? And do we have the political support? It is very difficult to project this in a world that is still thought and organized in pyramidal organizations, in which the ones who make decisions are the ones that know what's going on. And in the last 10 years, as I said, it is interesting to Civic Imagination process. Since 2014, we started a learning process, and for example, the common goods regulation in 2014, the municipality recognizes the need of having these informal groups that can take care of the city, or they can take care of a garden, of a public building, and it is like a horizontal power of the citizens. And this was a revolution because there is an administrative regulation that recognizes that the power that is not only on the hands of the municipality, is also in the hands of citizens. And some years later we can see it. There is a online publication, Community at the Center. You can find it googling in the website of the foundation. And we have invented the neighborhood laboratories and the neighborhood school. So it's a whole system based on proximity, because we have learned that communities want to learn, want to participate, talking about what's going on around them. And this system that we have invited, and administrative and regulatory regulations and new institutions. Last year, we created the last one, the Assembly to manage the climate change. This is the last tool that we have invented in Bologna. So Bologna, which is a symbol of democratic innovation, the most communist city, the one that invented the first public kindergarten and in the 60s. So it's like Bologna does not accept a tradition, the traditional solutions. It's always been like this. And we invent new solutions using the imagination, imagining solutions that are always done together with the citizens, with the communities, with the companies, with the university. Because innovation is outside the institutions. This is our framework. And in order to connect with the future. So the most interesting things, we have the Fondazione per l'Innovazione Urbana, the Foundation for the Urban Innovation, and to push public innovation and connecting the decisions with the energy of the communities. And the most innovative thing has been to create the civic innovation as a model of organization. So we have invented 6 proximity agents, 6 community managers. So Elisabetta works in the Porto Zaragoza neighborhood for the past 5 years. So she knows perfectly all the communities. She knows about the problems. She knows about the dreams. And she is invited to the different festivals and the parties of the neighborhood. So Elisabetta is not the Fondazione per l'Innovazione Urbana. Elisabetta is someone who uses her voice depending on who is listening to her. So she can talk to the parents, she can talk to the political representatives, but always following the dynamics of the neighborhood. So this is one of the typical activities that we develop, being with the people and going where people are and where decisions are made. And we have a website, we have the Instagram, and we word of mouth. So depending on the context, we are going to use one method or another. So we are changing the city, and there are a lot of symbols of our activity around. We are inventing new services during pandemic. We have invented a platform, an ethical platform, and for example, creating different cooperatives and like offering new services, but with the co-production and new services, like for example a cloakroom, but with the community. And then this is the last project that we have implemented. It's a lab to design new policies for teenagers, and with globalization, we have the young people and they need to follow new directions, and it is not simple. So this is the typical innovation process. And in our foundation, we started with focus group reviews and open assemblies, engaging educators, engaging communities and associations. 1 year we've been doing it. So we imagine the city with a public infrastructure, schools. Bologna has a lot of schools, and for every school we want it to be a platform, not only during 4 or 5 hours in the morning, but during the whole day. And we've learned that there are some analyses that show that the emotions of the young people are brutal. And when they talk about schools, they feel anxiety and they are angry at the schools. So this shows the complicated reality where we are. So we have started listening to the educators, and having data is important, and also the word data, the warm data coming out of the conversations that we had with the educators. And we have 60% more teenagers going to hospitals because they are suffering depression. And the statements that we heard are brutal. The educators don't have time to be with the young people who are unhappy. And we have concrete images of this. There is no time for taking care of the relations, and everything is designed as not taking this into account, the mental health of teenagers. And this is something we've been giving to the municipality to support the political decisions. And we have then designed all the priorities. In these, we have learned that we need to change all the services, because all the services are 20 years old. And we have to rethink the spaces. We need to give more power to young people. And it is also opening up the spaces, the experimentation spaces, to give us a real power. And we have learned that we need to empower the educators, and they are like activists, and they have an amazing energy. And I'm going to finish saying that it is crucial to explain what we do, because in this case, we are telling the municipality that we have 5 directions. And these 5 directions were born working together with the teenagers, with the family. And these 5 directions are going to see the city in a different way. Schools are going to be platforms. And we need to completely change the way we manage these spaces, and also the digitalization, and also give political representation to teenagers. These 5 decisions are radical, and this is the things we need to present. These are things we are going to present in Bologna. Talking about the future for the teenagers, we need to accept that traditions are not enough. We need to change the methods, the mindset, to give more power to them. We need to have more time because people don't trust us. So we need to rebuild these relations, and this is very important. More than the project is the relation. That's all. Thank you very much.